Hello everyone, I welcome you all for today's video class on milk processing. It comes under the food science topic. So today we are going to discuss about the processing of milk. I am J. Mahalakshmi, Assistant Professor of Nutrition and Dietetics from the Standard Fireworks Rajaratnam College for Women. So before we go into the topic, I would like to introduce you about the milk. So milk is the one important resources of food that we obtain from the animals. Animals which produces milk are being used for the human nutrition for long years of time. There is no substitute for milk that has been found in the recent times. So milk is one of the most nutritious food for humankind. So as we go into the topic, processing of milk. So the processing of milk is the important includes the important steps involved in the making, processing, storage and chilling of the milk. So it's a series of operations carried out on raw milk to improve its safety, quality, taste and shelf life while retaining its nutritive value. So the raw milk cannot be stored for a larger period of time. We have the milk resources are from the villages, so we have to transport the milk to the different cities and other places where we need milk for the human consumption. So for that we have to achieve only by the processing of milk. So in the process of converting the raw milk into the quality, tasteful with increased shelf life, while doing all this we have to retain the nutritional value also. The nutritional value, the nutrients present in the milk should not get deteriorated. So these includes the steps like clarification, standardization, pasteurization, homogenization, cooling, packaging, storage and distribution. These are the steps involved in the processing of milk. So why we need to process the milk? The raw milk contains bacteria, dust, dirt and different fat levels. Each and every cow's the fat composition in the milk depends upon the animal feed and the type of the animal, type of the cow, where they are rearing and all those matters in the composition of the milk. So each and every cow produces milk of different fat levels. So through processing, these impurities, harmful microorganisms are either removed or being destroyed. So and also the fat content is being adjusted and cream separation is prevented by the homogenization process. So all these processes makes the milk is suitable for human consumption and we can store it for a longer period of life. It improves the shelf life of the milk and also it reduces the harmful microorganisms. For example, typhoid is one of the bacteria that are present in the raw milk, and if the animal is sick or infected, the microorganisms passes through the milk also. So thereby human get also contaminated with the microorganisms and get infected. So these infections are prevented when we process the milk at required levels. So first step is clarification. Clarification is the process of removing suspended particles, dust, dirt, epithelial cells and some bacteria from the raw milk by using a centrifugal clarifier. So what is the principle of centrifuge? So centrifuge, it rotates at the different speeds and parts per millions it will rotate. So due to that rotation and the force, centrifugal force, the dust particles, the bacteria and the heavy weighted materials will get deposited and the milk gets clarified. Clarified means the dirt will get deposited and the upper portion, the top layer will get we get the clarified milk. So during this the milk is passed to the centrifuge where the lighter fat rises and the heavier impurities settle. So the fat rises to the topper layer and the impurities settle down to the bottom layer. So this steps ensures the cleaner milk and reduces the microbial load. Thereby the microorganisms, epithelial cells, from the animal body and some heavy antibiotics that the animals we use for animals will get settled down and the cleaner milk will go for next processes. So standardization. Standardization is the process of adjusting the fat and solids not fat content of the milk. That is apart from that fat there are certain solid substances present in the milk which includes the minerals and all those. So by adjusting the fat and SNF content of the milk, the desired level of the market standards are attained. This process is called standardization. For example, the milk which should contain 4.5% of fat means we have to attain the 4.5% of fat. We have to adjust the fat percentage. So some type of milk contains low fat content, some cows produces high fat milk. So by standardizing the milk, we will able to adjust the quantity of the fat present in the milk and as per the market standards and the legal standards. So for this process, the milk fat is standardized to produce a toned milk. For toned milk contains 3% of fat, double toned milk contains 1.5% of fat, and a full cream milk contains 6% of fat. So these fat contents are altered and standardized in this process. This ensures a uniform composition and consistent nutritional quality. So we can ensure the fat content is same. We can authoritically say, evidence based, we can say this milk contains this amount of fat, like that. So standardization is one important technique to ensure the consistent nutrition, to deliver the consistent nutritional quality for all the consumers. So the next process is one of the important process, pasteurization. Pasteurization is the process of heating of milk to a specific temperature for a definite period of time, followed by the rapid cooling in order to destroy the pathogenic microorganisms in the milk by without altering the taste and nutritional quality and to improve the shelf life. This is the process of pasteurization. So by pasteurization, we are heating the milk to a particular temperature and then cooling down suddenly, so that the microorganisms will get killed during this process. So this is one of the important steps to improve the shelf life of the milk. So the milk, the normal common milk that we get receive from the local market or from the milk depots, like that. So those milk are not pasteurized. There are more chances for getting infected through the milk. But the packet, the branded milk packets will contain those milk are always pasteurized, so the chances of getting infections is less. So this principle applies for ice creams and other milk product production also. So without pasteurization, whatever the milk products is produced or the ice creams are produced, there are chances for infections. So if the milk is pasteurized, the risk of infections is very less and the shelf life and taste and quality of the milk will be more. So we have three methods in the pasteurization process. One is a batch or holding method. In this, the milk is heated in the chamber. So in the diagram you have shown the pasteurization chamber. So in the chamber, the milk is heated for 63 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. So the temperature is raised to 63 degrees Celsius and it's holded for 30 minutes. And in HTST, that is high temperature short time, the milk is raised to temperature for 72 degrees Celsius for 15 seconds. For ultra high temperature method, the milk is heated for the temperature of 135 to 150 degrees Celsius for 1 to 3 seconds. It has a longer shelf life. So after the particular time, the time mentioned is also very important. After the particular time, the temperature have to come down to normal by cooling. So in the pasteurization chamber, the surrounding cooling outlet will be there. So after the particular time, that for like 15 seconds or 3 seconds or 30 minutes, the cooling water or something, the coolant will be passed through, the milk will be suddenly cooled down to their normal room temperature. So these are the three methods. Among the three, ultra high temperature is the most efficient one, and industries follow all the three methods for pasteurization of milk. So the next process is homogenization. So we have pasteurized the milk. We have almost removed all the microorganisms, killed or destroyed all the microorganisms in the milk by pasteurization method. We have clarified the milk by we have removed the dirt by clarifying the milk. We have done the pasteurization process. Now we are moving into the homogenization process. In this process, the milk contains carbohydrates like lactose, protein substances and fat substances. These all are different in sizes and shapes. So thereby the light weighted fat substances move towards the moves upwards, and it forms a layer of fat layer in the milk, which we all know. So the differences in the particle sizes are there in the milk. So in the inhomogenization, the process of breaking down the larger fat globules into smaller uniform globules, so that the cream does not separate from the milk. The top layer and the high fat content layer will not separate if the milk is homogenized. So in the process of homogenization is breaking down of larger fat molecules or globules into the smaller uniform globules. So in this process, the milk is forced under the high pressure through the narrow openings. So the results will be the smooth, creamier texture milk, whiter appearance, and the better digestibility. So the fat and protein content, fat and carbohydrate content will not separate away. The cream will not separate away from the milk if the milk is homogenized. Only the homogenized milk will be suitable for making ice creams, curd. Will get the better quality and standards of the curd and milk products, etc. So by homogenization we will get the smooth and creamy texture of milk, and also the particles present in the milk are even in size and uniformly distributed. So the next process is cooling and packaging. So once the pasteurization and homogenization are done, the milk is cooled to below 5 degrees Celsius and packed in a hygienic sterile containers. So without human touching and all, the packaging process will happen at minus 5 degrees Celsius, at below 5 degrees Celsius, sorry. So the process involves cooling prevents a microbial growth. So we have heated that milk and then followed by the rapid cooling prevents the microbial growth, and the packaging may be done in pouches, bottles, aseptic cartons for ultra high temperature milks. So this ensures the hygienic and maintains the freshness of the milk. So the next process is storage and distribution. Once the milk is processed, we have to store the milk in the cold conditions, that is less than or equal to 5 degrees Celsius. So while packaging also and storing also, we have to store the milk under 5 degree Celsius and distributed using a cold chain system. So the milk is always distributed in cooler atmosphere. So that is the cold chain system to prevent the spoilage. So if the temperature is shifted to, if the temperature is raised to room temperature and then refrigerator temperature, if the shifting of temperature is more, and the chances of spoilage will be more. So in this process, the storage will happen in the refrigerated tanks or chambers, transported in the insulated or refrigerated vehicles, and it is delivered quickly to ensure safety and quality. So distribution also, it should be proper and in the hygienic manner, so that we can ensure the safety and quality of the milk. So conclusion. So milk plays a vital role in ensuring that the raw milk is transformed into safe, hygienic, nutritious and consumer friendly products, and the processing is a very important and crucial step in the milk industry. So thus milk processing ensures quality assurance, safety and consistency, making the milk a reliable source of nutrition for all age groups. So all people rely on the milk for their nutritional support and supplementation. So milk has become a part of our life. So it needs to be proper, it needs to be in proper quality, safety and nutritionally sufficient. So by milk processing we can attain all. These are the references. Thank you everyone. Thanks for watching.